Hello everybody and welcome into the FIBA U18 Tournament Championship Day. Game 2, both teams having a little competition before the competition.
Yeah, you see them getting pumped up. They are ready to play this afternoon.
Hello and welcome in. I'm Anthony Guile, joined by my partner, Amy Audibert. Tonight, Dominican versus Chile. What can we expect in this game, Amy?
You can expect two teams going pretty hard. They both captured gold in their respective tournaments to get here last year in 2017. So there is a little sense of disappointment in that they expected to at least finish in the top 4 and qualify for the U19s next year. So they're going to want to end on a positive note with a big win today. Having the opportunity, we both have called these teams all week. And you know what, Anthony, the one thing that's consistent here is they both play pretty hard.
Yeah, you're right. And yesterday, coming off 2 wins, both in very different ways. Chile just coming out with a slight win, and Dominican blowing Ecuador out of the water. So tonight, I think Dominican, they got to take advantage of their height and really play in the paint. Yesterday, Joel Soriano stepped up after going 0 for 1 against Argentina. Yesterday, 19 points.
Yeah, they are big inside, like you said, Soriano, but also Alonzo Frink, who has been probably the strongest pound-for-pound guy in the tournament. He's not necessarily, to look at him right there, you see that he's a tank coming through. He gets into the paint, and even that, he faces up and drives from the 3 as well. And so if Dominican Republic can utilize their size and strength, it's going to be pretty hard for Chile to match up with that.
Right, and also another big name for Dominican, a great player in the United States, the 5th ranked player in New York, Lester Quinones, yesterday flirting with a triple-double, 20, 15, and 7. I expect him to have a big game today, especially with scouts in the building.
Yeah, he's been, at times he's looked fantastic, and then what he's done a nice job of doing, though, is letting Frink kind of run the show when they need to, and so he doesn't have to show off with this team, and so except I'd still like to see him show off because he's pretty fun to watch when he's rolling.
And right now we'll stand for the national anthem. just getting set for tip-off here. We talked a lot about Dominican in the pregame, Amy, but last night, Ignacio Varela, an off game against Puerto Rico the other day, almost had a triple-double, 18, 9, and 8, but last night only 1 for 9 for 4 points. If they want to have a chance against this Dominican Republic team, he's got to step up big time.
He does. As this tournament has progressed, the challenge is that teams start identifying their top players and you get scouted, and so you see production kind of deteriorate at times, and so it's a bit of gut check for Varela, like you said, and that's what I'm excited to see, the response in some of these young men, as again they're in this game where they were hoping to play tonight, but hey, they still got a 40 minutes. Maybe if we're lucky we get overtime.
Yeah, this is definitely an opportunity for them to put themselves on the map on a world stage. And not only that, Maxwell Lorca-Lloyd, he's in the game tonight after a big frustration call yesterday, getting disqualified at the end of that game. They're lucky he's in this game. The leading scorer for this team at about 15.5 per game.
And look at that, Dominican Republic coming over and giving us little pins too. As you get a look at their lineup, we got perks, job perks.
Maybe they're trying to butter us up so we talk nice about them.
I'd go down to the DR anytime. If they want to bring me home, I'm okay to go for a little bit.
And you see the starting lineup there: Frank down low, Rafael Rubel, Quinones, Vanilla Jr. And the coach, Franco Lara. They're doing a great job for Chile, keeping them composed, coming out with a tight victory yesterday. And Sebastian Carrasco yesterday really stepped up for Chile, coming off the bench. 15 points yesterday, 50% from the field, and 8 assists. So he can move the ball and he can put it in the net.
What was so impressive about Chile was the way that they punched at Canada in their final game of their Group B phase. They were the first team that, from the opening tip, came at Canada in the paint, hit shots defensively, really challenged them. They didn't come in with that sense of we're playing one of the top-ranked teams in the Americas, and I was so impressed with their toughness. The game blew open, and it ended up being a 97-60 Canadian win because Canada does that. They score in spurts and in the fast break. But I was just so impressed with the attitude of these young men from Chile. They were not intimidated, and I'm expecting the same start this afternoon.
Yeah, you said it right there, toughness. They're going to need it tonight because if Dominican gets going, they can run you out of this gym, no problem. They got the shooting for it. So Chile's got to stay. They got to stay on point now, and they got to be aware of this team, and they got to run them off the three-point line. I think that's the big factor for them today. Obviously, Frank and Soriano get it done down low, but we know Quinones' game, and we know Dominican can shoot the ball from the outside.
And there has to be that, just a little bit of sense of no pressure, in the sense that, yes, you need to win this game so you can leave on a good note, but it's over, win, lose, or draw, and they're going home tomorrow. So there is that also, just, hey, let's just play hard. Hey, we don't have to save ourselves. We don't have to worry about our legs anymore. None of that kind of stuff.
Right, they got nothing to lose tonight, both of these teams. I expect a good back-and-forth game. About a minute away from tip-off. Team just getting set to hit the court. What's been consistent for Chile is their crowd. They travel well, that's for sure. They're loud all the time, and you hear them. They make their presence known.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up, Anthony, because I'm walking into the gym well over an hour ago now, and I'm halfway down between the parking lot and the door, and I hear these loud screaming, and I actually caught me off guard, and I kind of stopped and turned around. I thought someone was getting abducted or something, and it was just the fans getting, the sun's out, it's the afternoon in the middle of downtown St. Catharines, and they definitely have a passionate fan base. They're sitting right behind us, so we are going to feel some energy right here.
That's for sure. Team just getting set to hit the court now for tip-off. This is for 5th place in the tournament. They obviously didn't qualify for the World Cup, both of these teams, but it's definitely a game they both don't want to lose. They want to end on a high note today.
And I think at the end of the day, you want to win the game. Like you said, you want to leave St. Catharines with a W, but you also just want to play very hard. If this goes down to a last-second shot where both teams compete and they gave it their all, it's a lot easier to go home that way too.
and some of these guys won't be playing with each other ever again. Might not be playing for Dominicans, so they got to soak in this moment and run with it. Lorca, Lloyd, and Soriano will tip it off. And Dominican wins the tip. Rafael Rubel will come up with the ball for the Dominican. High ball screen coming early. An unerrant turnover there by the Dominican to start off. They want to get Frink going, but that's not the right way to do it.
And when you have such a strength and size advantage inside, you don't need to rush that. Let Frink work, get his position. He's a big man, so he's going to tell you when he wants the rock.
Mantel now up to Lloyd. Lloyd gonna take it himself, and he banks it in off glass. Maxwell Lorca Lloyd. We haven't really seen him. We haven't really seen that from him this whole tournament. Takes it himself on the off the dribble. Rubel now. Alonzo Frink loses the ball. Soriano grabs it. One dribble to Bonilla, and he puts it in to answer back.
So you see that like natural rawness but talent in Dominican Republic in that a little bit scrambled on offense, a couple slips with the ball, but they're still able to corral it and get the buckets.
Ignacio Varela needs to step up this game big time if Chile wants to win. Guarded by Rafael Rubel. Rubio looking for a high ball screen from Maxwell Lorca Lloyd. Tries to throw the alley-oop. Intercepted by Quinones, and back comes Dominican Republic. He loses the ball. Pimento gonna take it himself, and he puts it, oh, he misses. But there's Rubio, and he misses once again. Quinones getting back on deep, and he draws the foul, and he's gonna head to the line for two.
Coach Franco might be frustrated with the missed layups, but at the end of the day, it almost works out better for them in that they get Frink to pick up a very early foul, and the icing on the cake is if Rubio can get some points on the free throw line.
Rubio's on the first. And last year, Kevin Rubio led the team in scoring at the U17 South American Tournament, just over 16 points per game. He's going to be a big factor tonight if Chile wants to pull it out. He's 2 of 2 from the line. Vanilla Jr. Vanilla takes it himself. Soriano can't handle the pass. That's 2 early turnovers for Dominican Republic. That's definitely not how they wanted to start, Amy.
No, and I give half of it to Bonilla because he really fired that one at Soriano, and so again, good. I would say a good pass is a catchable one, or one that's caught.
Saez, Mentel up top, gets Rubio in the post. Kevin Rubio. Great defense there. Can't get the rebound. And Chile comes away with it once again. Frink corrals it now, and back comes Dominican Republic. Rafael Rubel is going to push the pace. Rubel. Another unerrant turnover there.
And you see Soriano right now, though, telling his point guard, he's pointing up in the air and saying, hey, I'm 6'11", put that one up for me. Again, I thought that pass was more catchable, but still, you got to click in game 6 of this tournament here.
Nearly stolen there. And it is as Quinones forces the turnover on Pimentel. Sloppy basketball to start this game in the first about 2 minutes. Quinones now the 6'5" shooting guard from New York. Vanilla drives the lane, finds Rubel. 8 on the shot clock, finds Soriano in the post. Joel Soriano, spin move, and he can't finish. He had the right idea there. Back comes Varela. Bounce pass. Beautiful basketball by Chile, but can't finish the layup. Here comes Rafael Rubel. Back the other way, gonna take it himself. Finds Soriano. Another turnover there by the Dominican Republic. Bounce pass to Saez. And another turnover back the other way. This is not the way both of these teams wanted to start, that's for sure.
No, Puerto Rico with a lot of easy or unforced turnovers. Chile, I mean, again, you see how hard they play, and they get on the offensive rebounds, they throw some pressure at you, but just unable to finish some big plays.
Rubio steps back and can't hit the three. Back the other way comes Dominican. Rubel up top. Quinones, they want to get Frink in the post. Frink fighting down there. Another bad pass, but he gets bailed out by a foul there, and Chile does not agree with that.
I believe that was Rubio in the back. I thought the pass was off either way. That was going to be hard for Frink to catch.
He's tall, but he's not that tall. Here comes Frink on the high ball screen. Quinones finds the open Vanilla in the corner, and he makes no mistake about it, and he drains it.
Quinones, the pass, the assist was so pretty. It was a one-handed pocket pass right into the target. Kids at home, that is tough to do. On time, on target with one hand.
Maxwell Lorca-Lloyd up top. Kevin Rubio. Varela. Saya's gonna pull up. Great defense there by Alonzo Frink, and back comes Dominican. Now they get Frink in the high post. Alonzo Frink, spin move. Great defense there by Luis Saez, and they're gonna force a jump ball.
Chile is just not intimidated by the size of Frink, and I mean, that was a great recovery defensively because he had split two defenders on the spin, but Lorca-Lloyd, well, that's Saez there, just owning his space, going straight up and snatching that ball.
I talked about how the guards of Chile have to have a big game, but even more so the big men of Chile, especially against Alonzo Frink and Soriano. Rubio finds Lorca-Lloyd. One dribble pull up, way off the mark. Saez grabs the offensive board. He's gonna pull up, and he can't hit. Dominican gonna slow down the pace a little bit heading up court. Soriano calling for it in the post. Quinones. Mr. Quinones. Step back, three. Off the mark. And here comes Chile back the other way. Ignacio Varela looking for a screen from Maxwell Lorca-Lloyd. Saez. Lloyd. Great defense there by Soriano. Bounce pass to Lloyd. He can't hit the jump hook, and back comes Frink with the rebound. Here comes Quinones. Mr. Quinones, cross-court pass to Rubel. Rafael Rubel loses the ball, pulls up anyways, and he banks it in. Rafael Rubel, maybe a little luck there.
Some ball handling reps coming into fruition.
Kevin Rubio, off-ball screen coming from Varela. Rubio in the post. One dribble, goes up with it, and he banks it in.
And that was the right read from Chile. Rubio's had the size advantage on his defender.
Rafael Rubel, about 4 minutes left in this opening quarter, 7-6 for the Dominican Republic. Rubel called for Vanilla in the corner, and he gets a good look, and he's off the mark. Frink comes around with the rebound, and he gets the foul. He's gonna head to the line to try and make it an old-fashioned three-point play.
Yeah, and Varela did a nice job kind of helping and rotating, but instead of planting and staying to take the charge, look what happens here. He could have kind of squared up and taken that charge, but moved out of the way, and instead it turns into an and one. And so if Chile uses this film as a learning tool moving forward, I think that's definitely a point of emphasis, because that ball could have been going the other way. I'm not gonna blame him too much, because I don't know who wants to step up and take a charge against Frink, because, I mean, that's risk reward.
His size speaks for itself. Frink missed that free throw, but there's Varela, and he's off. Quinones loses the ball, and it's gonna stay Chile. It's gonna stay Chile's ball. Pimentel now. Inbound to Rubio. He's going to go up with it. Great defense there by the Dominican Republic. Back the other way they come. As for Quinones, they get bailed out by a foul there. Nearly an 8-second violation. Almost didn't get it across court.
Quinones recognizes the trap's coming. He had a little help from his bench calling it out, but he attacked the Chilean hip and drew the foul. So that's a nice read in the front court.
High ball screen coming from Soriano. Bell finds Quinones barely. Quinones, great fake there in the post. What a beautiful finesse move by Lester Quinones. Ignacio Varela. Lloyd with the screen. Rubel fights over it. Great ball denial there. But Chile comes away with it.
And there was an issue with the shot clock there.
Just gonna get that sorted out. Chile will take it out of bounds, however. They got it right now. 9 seconds left on the shot clock. Varela up top. Saez, handoff to Varela. He's got to put it up. He's going to step back way beyond the arc, way off the mark. But there's Lorca Lloyd with the offensive board, and he puts it in off glass.
Dominican bench really quiet because they forced up the shot clock, didn't hit the rim. And if there's one person you have got to find on the offensive rebounding glass, it's Lorca Lloyd.
Rubel, mid-range, puts it in. Rafael Rubel. Ignacio Varela. Being guarded by Rubel now on the other end. High ball screen coming from Saez. He rolls. Varela finds Lloyd. On the cut, Pimentel can't finish, but he gets his own offensive rebound again. Rubio gonna let it fly, and he puts it in. Kevin Rubio with the hand in his face at the end of the shot clock.
And Chile again coming out of the opening tip with intensity. It's part of their brand, I'm gonna say, as we finish this tournament off on the last day. That's a credit to the players and the coaching staff for having them ready to go.
Lorca Lloyd now the other way off a Frink miss. Good transition there by Alonzo Frink to poke the ball away. Coming into the game now for the first time is Corella for the Dominican Republic. He's a talker. Yesterday he was chirping Michael Moncayo all the way down court as he was guarding him most of the second half, and he shut him down. Varela, tough drive. They're gonna call it on the floor, no basket.
The crowd wanted the continuation. And the bench wanted the continuation too, as you get a look at Coach Franco.
Let's see here. Ooh, I don't know about that. He picked up his dribble. I think that should have been two. Kevin Rubio on the post. Great cut there by Saez, and he finishes it off. Carlos Corella being guarded by Varela. Alonzo Frink throws it into Soriano. One dribble spin, and he's blocked by Lorca Lloyd. But they get their own rebound. Bonilla for three. Off the mark. They're calling a foul on the floor.
Lorca Lloyd has led the tournament in blocks at 3 per game and rebounds at 12 per game. We'll look at the block. Again, part of the scout, you almost have to throw that pump fake, and you've got to beat him with your feet. You've got to hook. If you're drop stepping, you've got to get your foot hooked around him to get him completely out of position, because a shot blocker, you don't have the position battle, and you open up and show him the ball. I mean, it's a dream come true.
Right, and Lorca Lloyd's going to be a huge part of their defensive scheme. Not only that, he's got to put the ball in the basket tonight. Averaging about 15 per game. Varela finds Rubio, mid-range jump shot off the front of the iron, but he fights for his own rebound and he banks it off glass. Like you said, there's the toughness right there, Amy.
Yeah, listed at 6'2", it's a generous 6'2". He is fighting his way underneath the hoop, and undersized against the Dominican Republic. But it's amazing what some heart and hustle does in this game.
David Jones crossover spin, beautiful move off glass. David Jones. Varela, last shot of the quarter. Can't put it in. And we're all knotted up after one, 15-15. It's been a back and forth game so far. A little bit of sloppy basketball to start the game, but teams sort of found their stride near the end of the quarter and started to put the ball in the net.
It's almost an unfortunate break because like you said, that game started to get some flow and both teams finding some strength.
(15-15). We'll be back to start the second quarter right after this.
Now that's how to mop the floor quickly.
Niagara, acres of vineyards and the award-winning wines of the Niagara College Teaching Winery. Craft beer from the Niagara College Teaching Brewery. Fresh farm-to-table cuisine from Benchmark Restaurant. Savor Canada's most unique learning experience at the internationally renowned Canadian Food and Wine Institute at Niagara College.
We're back now to get you set for the second quarter. We said back and forth game. A little bit of sloppy basketball there, but surprisingly, Chile has been dominating the offensive glass tonight.
It's tough to do. They did not go to their bench once that entire first quarter. Not much of a surprise there, though. Varela, Lorca Lloyd, and Rubio have all averaged 33 minutes on the tournament, which, again, we're going into day 7. 6 games in 7 days, averaging 33 minutes a game. Those guys are going to need some ice tomorrow.
Yeah, and you wonder if it's going to affect them the rest of this game and see if they're going to slow down a little bit. As you see here, just before the end of the quarter, David Jones with a beautiful crossover into the spin. Can't do nothing about that. It was good defense, just even better offense.
Well, he's been a spark plug for this Dominican Republic team the entire tournament.
Alonzo Frink gets it in the post. No double team coming. He's going to go to work. Finds the shooter. David Jones off the front of the iron. There's Dominican fighting for that offensive glass. Quinones saves it. Offensive foul there. Lester Quinones cannot believe it. He feels like he was being pushed out of bounds. Oh yeah, he definitely put his arm around him there. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do in that situation?
Yeah, when you're falling out of bounds, and I mean that sideline is essentially another defender, so pretty crowded.
For the first time tonight, Sebastian Carrasco is going to come onto the floor after a 15-point performance yesterday. Very efficient, 50%. Also added 8 assists. He has the ball in his hands now. Kevin Rubio up top. Finds Lorca Lloyd. Nearly intercepted there, but it'll stay Chile's ball. 5 seconds left on the shot clock.
Yeah, put the ball in Lorca Lloyd's hands. Like you said, 5 seconds on the shot clock.
Carrasco grabs it. He's got to put up a shot. He's going to head in the lane, and he can't hit on the wild shot there, and Frink comes away with another board. Frink already has 6 boards tonight. It's not even halftime. Off-ball screen coming here. Harasmi, screen from Jones. One-on-one with Kevin Rubio. Harasmi, great defense there, but even better offense. Can't finish. Carrasco ahead to Varela. They're trying to pick up the pace here. Ignacio Varela bounce pass to Lorca Lloyd, stripped by Frink, and back comes the Dominican Republic. David Jones cut off there, but Frink wide open three, and he puts it in. Alonzo Frink, we know he can shoot it from the outside. He doesn't do his work down low like a traditional big man.
And he's been showing that shot the entire tournament, and so Chile's got to do a better job of identifying him in transition.
And Naco now. Lorca Lloyd, an early 4 points on 50% shooting. You might want to look to get the ball in his hands again. Varela putting up a wild shot. Can't hit. Dominican's got to be happy with his possessions. Always getting down to the end of the shot clock, throwing up wild shots with a hand in the face.
And it's tough to consistently play 24 seconds of defense every rep down the court. And so for them to be able to come up with stops is encouraging for them.
Great defense there, and they're calling it the other way. Alonzo Frink lost the ball. Can't believe it.
And Lorca Lloyd looks like he had got a little banged up on that possession. Took him a second to get up, and if you're Chile, I mean, he's got to be in the game for you, and I think they've got to isolate him a bit. Dominican Republic, they're playing a man-to-man, and you wonder if Frink has the athleticism that Lorca Lloyd does, and so that's a face-up blow-by look. At least once, you got to give it a look and see what happens.
And Chile not liking what they see to start off this quarter, calling an early timeout. Early 3 points there by Dominican. Yeah, you're right about Lorca Lloyd. They got to get him involved more. Whether it's like they got to blow by. You're right. He's got the athleticism over Frink. Let me see there, 44% shooting.
Yeah, and Alonzo Frink taking a breather, but how exciting for him. He's getting to go to South Carolina next year for Frank Martin, who spent a good amount of time in the gym earlier in the tournament watching his guy.
Yeah, and I was talking to him actually on a post-game interview the other day about the South Carolina commit. I said, what made you go there? What was the visit like? He said, as soon as I went there, I knew it was like a family there, and they embraced me.
Well, and that's SEC basketball, and that is a team that, not this past season, but two seasons ago, went to the Final Four. They beat Marquette, Duke, Baylor, Florida, and then lost in the Final Four to Gonzaga. As a 7th seed, the entire, I'm going to say North America, was so locked in to South Carolina men's basketball, and that's where that young man's going to have the opportunity to play his college career out.
Coming out of the timeout now, Sebastian Carrasco. Varela, Rubio, and Yaco. Yesterday he started, but he's coming off the bench today. Carrasco, wide open three. Off the mark there, and Alonzo Frink with another rebound. Varela, off-ball screen action coming here. Frink grabs the handoff for Plankin. Not a smart foul there by Kevin Rubio.
I don't know how much I agree with that foul, because it's like smashing the flash, beating a player to position. Maybe he was still moving and it wasn't quite Rubio's position, but I'm not too upset with that effort in trying to send Frink back weak side.
Rosmi, wide open jumper, and he puts it in. That's too easy there for the Dominican Republic. Chile can't be happy about that. Kevin Rubio backs him in now. Another steal there for Alonzo Frink. His defensive game tonight has been unreal. And in transition, David Jones thinks twice about shooting. Bad turnover there, and back comes Chile. Lorca Lloyd stripped. But they get a break there as Varela stepped out of bounds.
On that last Dominican Republic possession, Jones went baseline, but he had Frink posting up. Look, your big man's running rim to rim on game 6 of a 7-day tournament. When he works his tail off to get position like that, get him the ball.
You're right, they gotta feed their big man. Carrasco, another foul there. David Jones knows he did it. There's 2 team fouls now. About 6:30 left in this quarter. Carrasco, off-ball screen coming from Varela. He grabs it up top. Ignacio Varela. 1-on-1 with Verplanken. Rubio banks it in off glass. Kevin Rubio, 20-17 now for the Dominican Republic. Barely get it in there. And a bad turnover again by the Dominican Republic. That's been the story of this game so far for them.
Also, you have to credit Chile for getting up there and showing pressure, because if they're back on defense, I mean, then we're watching the ball at the other end of the court right now. And so they're doing a nice job getting up and flustering Dominican Republic.
Ignacio Varela for planking, guarding him now. Calling for the isolation. But here comes Maxwell Lorca-Lloyd, high ball screen. Varela gonna take it himself, and he banks it off glass, and the foul. Ignacio Varela gonna head to the line.
There you go, there he is.
It's exactly what they needed.
And Varela's been a fantastic facilitator this whole tournament, but he has that ability to score as well. And so it's great when you have a point guard who has the ball in their hands, the majority of your offense, finding lanes and becoming a threat too. You have to guard him as well. You've got to play him honest.
We're all knotted up at 20 once again. We're planking. David Jones. One-on-one in the post. Not a great shot there, but he puts it in over the outstretched hands of Maxwell Lorca-Lloyd. I think Chile can live with that kind of bucket. It wasn't a great shot, but what are you gonna do? Lorca-Lloyd, high screen. They got a man. Carrasco takes it himself. Great defense there again by the Dominican Republic. Rubio gonna let it fly, and that won't go in either. He can't buy a bucket right now. Bounce pass to Ignacio. Carrasco in the corner. Finds Lloyd. One dribble, hook. Can't finish with the left. And Iaco is going to head to the line. Chile really putting the pressure on the offensive glass, continuing from that dominant first quarter on the glass.
And how frustrating for the Dominican Republic. There's about 4 offensive rebounds just on that trip alone. Chile's averaged just under 11 offensive rebounds the entire tournament, which is 8 out of 8 teams. And so on one possession, to see them get about 3 or 4. Offensive rebounding sometime, I mean, there's a skill to it, and there's definitely a lot of IQ, but the biggest thing is just some heart and hustle and understanding positioning.
You said it there. Joel Soriano's got to step up, all 6'10" of him. He's got to be dominant on the boards tonight for the Dominican Republic. At the scorer's table now is Rafael Rubel, getting set to check back in. Off to Ignacio with another offensive rebound. Just lazy right now for the Dominican Republic. They got to hustle for that board.
And Dominican Republic tried to give them that offensive rebound. They had one guy in and everybody else back on defense. And so when you want to talk about demoralizing a team, as you can hear the crowd behind us, that's big time. And that's what you want to see on day 6, on the last game of your tournament appearance. And
just like that, Chile does take the lead, and that leads to a Dominican timeout. They want to talk it over. They've got to be frustrated with this offensive glass dominance. 24-22, we'll be back right after this.
Now that's how to mop the floor quickly.
Getting set to come out of the timeout here. Dominican's coach has got to be getting on his guys about this rebounds. It's simple. You got to get the defensive rebound at least. You can't let one player beat 4 guys down here.
Yeah, off a free throw. That's a huge momentum swing. Again, that's just attitude. And so Dominican Republic, you can look at the stat comparison and you can look at the size advantage, and they've got a couple more players that are getting attention from all the U.S. scouts, and all but one of these Dominican players play in prep schools or high schools in the States. So matched up one-on-one against Chile, most people would probably give DR this game, but Chile's just outworking them.
Right now, it's all about their heart and their hustle. You said it there. Vanilla. Corella downloaded. Soriano immediately gets the double. Corella. Rubel finds Frank. He's going to let it fly. And he's off the mark there. A little too strong. And back comes Chile. Iñaco. Going to take it himself. Smart play to come back. Carrasco. Sebastian Carrasco up top. Screen from Lorca Lloyd. Fights over, and there's the trap. Bad pass there, and back comes the Dominican Republic. Great pressure by the Dominican Republic there on that trap, forcing a turnover.
You want to get that ball to Lorca Lloyd, but find a different angle with the mismatch.
Not a great play there by Alonzo Frank, but he grabs the ball. Frank, power move, and he puts it in off glass. That's what you want to see from Alonzo Frank down low. All 6'8", 215 pounds of him.
Yeah, that's a little LeBron James. Is not getting the call because he's bigger and stronger, but a whole lot of contact through that finish.
A freight train coming right down your way.
Frank train, I love it.
Lorca Lloyd.
Oh, that ball can't stick. If Dominican Republic's gonna step out and trap the screens.
Beautiful move there by
the ball's
Kevin
stuck,
Rubio.
And that's why he was like, I'm gonna get mine, but I'm gonna wait until the defense recovers first and really take it to him.
Another sloppy pass there by the Dominican, and Iñaco comes away with it. Varela finds Carrasco, open three from the corner, puts it in. Sebastian Carrasco raising the threes in the air. He's a confident player, and he'll shoot it when he can.
On that release, Carrasco definitely top back, and he was feeling it. He knew that one was falling.
Frank, a lot of space there, holds back on the three, wants to slow it down a bit. 29-24, about 2:30 left in this quarter.
Chile showing a zone defense right now. So Dominican Republic running someone on the baseline, trying to create an overload, but they dribble the ball right out of bounds.
Quinones coming back in the game. Dominican can sense this game. Get a little away from them. They want to put some points on the board, and that's exactly what Leicester can do.
And the Dominican Republic calling a timeout. Probably looking to maybe draw up another type of zone defense or zone offense look against Chile.
Some sloppy ball there by Dominican, that's for sure. They got to pick it up. And that could be it there. That zone defense is really affecting them.
Yeah, and the key to that is just whipping that ball around quickly and finding some open shots. Yeah, and a zone offense is probably an advantage for Dominican Republic, using their size to pin players and find some easy looks.
Let's see how Dominican responds. We'll be back right after this. Back out of the timeout now. 2:36 left in this opening half. 29-24 for Chile. And the story of the game has been sloppy basketball for Dominican and bad turnovers, and the offensive glass for Chile. They've been hustling and beating them out on a lot of the possessions there.
Yeah, again, they punched first against Canada. They came out and were not intimidated. And you're seeing that attitude right at the opening tip. It's very refreshing.
It's going to be an important end of this, about 2 minutes at the end of this half. Build momentum going into the second half. Varela finds Iñaco. He's going to let it fly. Off the mark. Frank grabs the rebound. They have numbers now. They're going to push it. Rafael Rubel. Bonilla, mid-range shot. He delivers. He cuts it down to a three-point game.
And that's a great lead from Dominican Republic. Just a nice, easy pull-up, just finding some rhythm, not overcomplicating things. And that's a dagger right back at you.
What a response there by Kevin Rubio. He matches his two with a three.
And how about that? Because he had A long two, but he's been damaging inside, owning interiors.
And Vanilla can't answer back, but David Jones with the offensive glass slips there. Quinones can't leave him that open, and that's exactly why. Lester Quinones, a sharp shooter.
Red jerseys got their feet stuck in cement on that defensive possession.
If there's anyone you can leave open, it's definitely not him. Quinones now match up against Iñaco. Carrasco finds Varela up top. He's gonna take a deep shot, and he answers right back. What a response there. These two teams starting to get their shooting rhythm going.
And dare I make the comparison, but this is what the USA has done against so many teams where you score a couple buckets and you feel good against them, and they just respond with a bigger play.
It's a sign of a great team, and here comes Iñaco back the other way. They have numbers. Finds Carrasco. He doesn't take the shot. Great transition defense there by Dominican to get back. Screen coming for Varela. Lloyd doesn't roll. Rubio, Kevin Rubio, great defense there by Alonzo Frink, but he gets his own board. Big time block by David Jones.
And on that possession, you saw the size disadvantage for Rubio, driving it to nothing.
So here Kevin Rubio completely shut off by Frank, and then David Jones says, I got your back, guys. They can hold it for about the last shot of the quarter. It's about a second difference.
And that would probably be a wise decision, as the offense has certainly been sticking for Dominican Republic. You do not want to give Chile another opportunity to rack up some points.
And you'd love to get a basket here to build momentum going into the second half. Rubel, not a great shot there. 1 second left, he's gonna let it fly. Well short. Interesting half there from the Dominican and Chile. Sloppy at times, but it seemed at the end of the half there, they were able to get their shots going.
And you look at Quinones coaching up Rubel, because that wasn't the shot they probably wanted at the end of the half. And so that's your veteran player who's still also an extension of a coach on the court. They've got a whole half to play, and they want to leave here feeling good. They want to leave St. Catharines feeling proud of their product, and so they're going to have to respond out of the locker room at half.
Yeah, exactly. It'd be interesting to see how they do respond in the second half. Chile putting up 35 on the Dominican. If you're Dominican, you'd expect to maybe be in the lead out of these two teams. It seems Dominican can really shoot the ball, but got to give credit where credit's due, and Chile's been shutting them down. As you see there, Dominican hasn't been getting to the free throw line all but once, and that's probably something they want to look forward. That's probably something they want to improve on in the second half, because those points matter.
Yeah, and I mean, with Chile playing a zone defense, you're not going to shoot the ball from the foul line quite as much, but they've got to get out of that, force Chile to get out of the zone defense. You've got to score against it.
And those 11 turnovers for Dominican, that was the story of the first half for them, sloppy basketball, but we'll see if they can respond in the second. And Frank, 7 and 12 already, working on a double-double. Can't go wrong there. And Kevin Rubio stepping up for this Chilean team.
Yeah, and those 16 points from all over the place.
Getting it done inside and out. You see there, yeah, Frank. I don't expect Frank to be shut down that much offensively. I expect him to have a big time second half. And same with Quinones. If Dominican wants to get back into it, they got to get their leading scorer going. 35-29, we'll be back to start the second half.
Oh, Gabriel, okay. God, that's too much, too strong. Dunk it, baby! Makes him go drive hard to the basket. Got him. But Matt is there and he's denied by Justice.
Come on now.
Ball now into the hands of Hammond, feeds it into Benny with a two-handed hammer jam. Chile survived.
Now that's how to mop the floor quickly.
The opportunity for the students in this program is really great. As a coordinator, I've quite often had calls from employers asking if they have any students to hire, and I always have to say, no, I don't have any students, they've all been taken. So the job opportunities when they graduate from this program are really good. The other really, they get 16 months of paid co-op, so they do have a lot of industrial experience by the time they graduate.
The faculty is really helpful. Like if ever we have questions regarding anything about our program or the real world, like industry and things like that, they have great knowledge about everything, and we can go up to them and ask them anything and everything, and they are more than willing to help us.
learning the theory and then the mathematical basis for why mechanics and materials function the way they do, like the physics of the natural world as it pertains to mechanical engineering. That for me was the most interesting and the most beneficial.
The hands-on experience is really great for when they go out into industry. They work on the CNC, they work in this materials lab here, they program robots, all stuff that's totally applicable to industry.
This crowd is going to be loud here. They really get behind the team.
World Cup qualifiers were meant to bring basketball home to the home nations.
Vargas drives in and scores. The party's on. Now Brasino flies in. Goes Howdy A. Carter on the putback. 4-on-1, back to Grass. Roll! It goes in for the dunk. It's Scola. Scola. Wow. So in, and Samus Reyes flies in for the dunk. What a play that is!
Pride, that's what it means.
Great win for the Uruguayans.
Welcome back. Just getting you ready for the second half here. Chile up 35-29, and a big story is the turnovers for the Dominican. 11 turnovers opposed to Chile's 6.
You're right, and we can talk about turnovers and field goals and all that stuff, but we also spoke about this being about pride this game. And my biggest issue right now, if I'm Dominican Republic, is that 11 offensive rebounds have been converted into 13 points for Chile, and 3 of those offensive rebounds on the hands of Kevin Rubio, who is undersized in the paint. And so that, if you're Dominican Republic, is your complete regroup in the locker room. Heart, hustle, leaving St. Catharines with a lot of pride and a W. And so if you're Dominican Republic, you really hope that you come out and respond.
Right, and the second chance points has been big for Chile. And really, Dominican, they're still in this game, but Chile only shooting 35%, so this is their game to take.
It is. Hey, they come out strong traditionally in this tournament from game 1 all the way down the line. So if they can sustain that, they're feeling good right now. Look, guys, like they're going to say, too, they need to adjust a bit. Maxwell Lorca hasn't really touched the ball a whole lot. He's only had 5 field goal attempts. But again, Varela, Lorca Lloyd, and Rubio have not come off the floor in that first half for Chile.
Yeah, you wonder if that's going to affect them going into the second half, if they're going to be a little fatigued. But a big thing for Dominican is we talked about going into this game, their size differential, and how they could use that to take advantage of this game and really take this game by the hold and win. But Joel Soriano, 0 for 3 now. It's shades of the game against Argentina.
And that's a player who's certainly got some looks and definitely some eye poppers from college coaches, just seeing his size, and he had a couple pretty strong games, showing streaks of a brightness, I guess you can say. And so this is an opportunity for him to really step up for his team as well.
All right, coming off a 19-point game yesterday on over 60% shooting. You wonder if he's going to step up in the second half here. I mean, not wonder, he's going to have to if they want to win this game. As well with Alonzo Frink, he's going to have to put his foot on the gas. He's already captured 12 rebounds, but only 7 points tonight. I expect that to change. I expect that to go up. And Lester Quinona has only 7 points in that first half. Sorry, 5.
Right, and Frink shooting, you said the 7 points, 3 for 9 from the field as well. So he's getting attempts, seems to finish the hard ones, right? He seems to finish the ones where he's getting ripped down quite a bit. He hit a nice 3 too, so he has this Dominican Republic team has so many offensive threats. They do have the ability to get hot quickly. As you see them really gather right now before the ball's inbounded, and
this
can almost guarantee that conversation is like 20 minutes, guys. Let's get it going. Let's get rocking. And if there's someone who's going to stop them, there's your look right there. Maxwell Lorca Lloyd.
I think a big thing in that huddle, maybe it's just the last 20 minutes they're ever going to play together, maybe, potentially. So they got to make the most of this moment. As you see here, a change to start the second half. Sebastian Carrasco will start, and same with Iñaco.
And Dominican Republic showing his own defense as well.
See if that affects Chile. Rubio, 4 guys right to him, and they force the turnover just like that. Oh, diving on the floor. Great hustle there, but Dominican comes with it. Frink, beautiful pass to Soriano. He finishes for his first basket of the game, now 1 of 4.
And that's the start that makes the coaching staff happy from Dominican Republic. They get a stop and then they fumble, but hustle to regain possession of the ball and get a nice look inside.
Varela up top looking for a screen from Rubio. Quinones fights over it. Carrasco. Rubio one-on-one with Rubel. He's got the height advantage. Rubio turns it over again. Rafael Rubel, it's got Quinones behind him. He takes it himself and he banks it in off glass. Rafael Rubel puts his head down and goes all the way. Iñaco finds Lorca Lloyd. Varela up top. Iñaco, good look. And he's off the mark there. Grabs his own offensive board. Shades of the first half there. Varela, turnover again. That's another turnover. Harasmi can't finish the beautiful move there, and back comes Chile. Varela. Screen from Rubio. Carrasco. Lorca Lloyd. Immediately met by 3 defenders there. Rubio, the jump hook. This zone defense has been working well for Dominican so far to start off the second half.
Yeah, Chile almost looks a bit more stagnant getting that ball, so their attempts they're not rhythm shots.
Rubio the other way off the block from Lorca Lloyd. Kevin Rubio takes it himself, and he's fouled by Alonzo Frink. And he can't believe it. Rubio's down, he looks a little shaken up.
And while I'm not disagreeing with the foul in a lot of contact, they're calling intentional, and that was not an intentional foul. He went straight up and owned his space in the air. Chile, the offensive player, did a nice job initiating that contact and drawing the foul. I'm not sure how that's intentional.
Let's see here. Soriano. There's the block by Lorca Lloyd, and back the other way went Rubio,
and Rubio's calling for a sub. So maybe bringing both hands down.
it was a good hard foul to me.
Yeah.
Questionable call there. But Carrasco will come back on.
And in these international tournaments where the teams go hard, but there's this sense of respect for each other always, for an intentional foul to be called, you've really got to do something. And even you can go back to Lorca Lloyd's ejection yesterday. To me also, I don't know if that calls for an ejection, and you were here and you saw better than I did, but I was at home watching, and it's been interesting. And again, like, I don't think that's an intentional foul. It's a foul. For sure it's a foul.
I'd have to agree with you there. It's part of the competition there. Frank just didn't want to allow an easy layup, and intentional foul.
Intentional is like you grab their arm and you rip them down,
right,
or you hit them in the head, you swat, like.
There's free throws and possession for Chile off that intentional foul. Carrasco met by the zone again. Varela. And Yako. Floater. Soft touch. And he puts it in 39-33.
A huge momentum swing back to Chile from the intentional foul, and they capitalize.
The lead is now at 6. Rubel trying to answer back, and he delivers with the answer, cutting it back to a 3-point lead for the Dominican. Sorry for Chile. Chile really having a hard time setting up their offense with the zone defense being displayed from Dominican.
The ball can't stick. You got to keep it moving like that. One pass, and then you find a nice open shooter by reversing that ball to the other side of the court.
Great play there by Chile to answer back with a three-pointer of their own. Quinones behind the back. He finds some space. He lets it go off the front of the rim. Right there is Alonzo Frink on the offensive glass. Make that rebound number 13 for him. Yako looking for a screen from Lorca. Varela, another high screen coming here for Chile. The ball's sticking right now. Off the mark there. Frink with another board. And back comes Dominican.
And you can see Frink jogging up the court, and you wonder how long he's going to be able to get rim to rim as he gets another rebound.
And Quinones off the pass from Alonzo Frink. He puts it in to cut the lead to just 1 now. Varela heading up court, guarded by Rubel. You feel the momentum swing right now, that's for sure, with Dominican. High screen coming. Varela gonna take it himself. Can't finish the layup. But it'll stay Chile's ball.
And that's a great rotation for Frink. If you saw he didn't go to block the shot, just change the shot. And love seeing that at this level, because you get a lot of guys who want to block the shot. There's a look at Rubio, who looks like he's going back in, he's ready.
Right
so
on cue.
That's a positive sign for Chile.
Bad turnover there for Lorca Lloyd. Miscommunication between him and Carrasco. And Rubio will check back in, and he's gonna take out Saez. Quinona is now gonna take the ball up. He has the height advantage against Carrasco now. You wonder if he's gonna use that. Quinones. David Jones back in the game. Jones one-on-one with Rubio, trying to use his muscle. Great defense there by Kevin Rubio, but Quinones on the offensive glass. Great play there to draw the foul and head to the line for 2.
Lester Quinones he's a high major recruit. He's getting looks from the best of the best, and you see why, because gets an offensive rebound in a lot of traffic, and he's still able to spin, get to the rim. He's strong and he's big. With that type of guard skill, he's got a great body, so he's gonna be able to contend at those high majors, and I wouldn't be surprised if we're seeing him playing in some March Madness in a couple years.
And I was talking to him the other day about the couple losses they had early in this tournament. He said he put the blame on himself, and one thing he really wants to work on going into the summer is his leadership skills. And he said he's learned a lot from this tournament so far, and they would love to come out with a victory to end off this tourney. Lloyd, one dribble, spin, great defense by Frank, but even better offense by Lorca Lloyd.
Well, that's another player who has the body to at least get looks in Baylor, Cal, UConn, Columbia. So those are the types of schools that are looking at Maxwell Lorca Lloyd.
Oh, great pass by Quinones, and Erasme can't put it in. Great vision there by Quinones. But back comes Chile. Iñaco, another board there from Frank. And let's say Dominican's ball.
On the Dominican Republic cheering section, thought Varela got away with a travel, and I have to agree.
It was great defense there by Rubel to cut him off.
And that'll be 17 rebounds now for Frank in the third quarter. That's a big body who's averaged just under 31 minutes in this tournament, and here we are on 6 games in 7 days, and he's still grabbing numbers like that. That's some mental toughness right there.
Here comes Chile with possession. Carrasco one-on-one with Quinones, finds Rubio. Iñaco. Rubio one-on-one with Bonilla. Great defense there, got Frank in the air, however, and he's gonna draw the foul. Oh, sorry, they call a travel on Kevin Rubio. See here. He has the height advantage on Bonilla. Oh yeah, he shuffled. Bonilla. Jones, he's gonna let it fly from the top. Can't grab it, and it'll go back to Chile's ball.
And Jones looked like he had a sense that one didn't feel quite right. If you saw right on the release, he took off right to the net.
It was a tough shot there too early in the shot clock with a hand in the face. High ball screen come from Rubio. There's a switch. Lorca Lloyd can't hit the jumper over the outstretched arms of Alonzo Frank. And back comes Quinones in this Dominican Republic team. Frank in the post. Immediate double team, and there's Corella. Great ball movement by Dominican, but he just can't finish. Frank, another board, and he puts it in off glass, and he's gonna head to the line at a chance at a three-point play.
He is a beast. So fun to watch. I cannot wait to see what Frank Martin does with Alonzo Frank and how he develops him.
The sky is the limit for this kid, that's for sure. And Frank hits the free throw, and just like that, Dominican regains the lead, 45-44, just under 3 minutes left in this third quarter. Corella guarded by Corella. Kevin Rubio. Lorca Lloyd hands it off to Iñaco. Off-ball screen coming from Varela. 5 seconds left on the shot clock. Rubio, step back three. Can't hit it in the face of the Dominican defender, and back comes Quinones. Alonzo Frank gonna throw it up from three. Can't hit. And back comes Chile.
Chile lucky that was a miss. You got to find Alonzo Frank in transition, which shouldn't be that hard because he's usually one of the last ones up the court. He's gassed. This time he's not. Look at number one run.
David Jones can't finish the floater, but he follows it up and gets his own offensive board and banks it in. They've taken a 3-point lead. Dominican, the momentum is in their hands now.
And Chile taking the timeout to regroup, but hey, I think it's just as much favoring the Dominican Republic, getting them a quick breather here while they have the momentum to keep it going because they've really found their stride.
Yeah, it's a total difference from the first half. We saw at the start of the game, Dominican, sloppy turnovers, but they've turned it around. Let's see if they can continue it after this break.
If you're going to dream, dream big.
Here at Niagara College, we specialize in dreams.
And with the right amount of determination,
You can achieve anything.
When opportunity rings, pick up an answer.
apply yourself.
This is your future.
Your passion.
Your life.
So what are you waiting for? Dream big and apply today.
Just getting set for the teams to come back on the court after this Chile timeout. Chile staying with the same five as they started off with the half. You might want to bring Alvaro Pimentel into the game for Chile. He brings some size, and you might want to put him on Quinones. Barely gets it in. Almost a 5-second violation there off the full court press, but Rubio has some space now. Beautiful bounce pass to Lorca Lloyd, and he puts it in off glass.
Right, and that's how you get a team to pull the press off. You break it that easily.
Dominican's coach cannot be happy about that. Quinones just getting it over half court with the first screen. Quinones hands it off to Corella. He's gonna drive hard. Finds Bonilla. Jones gonna let it fly off the front of the iron. Offensive board there for the Dominican. David Jones, spin move. Can't finish the beautiful move, and it's gonna head the other way over the back foul. I beg your pardon, it was a push. Quinones got to lay off a little bit there. Doesn't want to draw a foul. Varela, high ball screen from Rubio, pick and roll action. Can't finish. Frink got his hand in there last minute.
And in the first half, Rubio was putting those down. I mean, he had such a great first half. He was owning the paint.
Off-ball foul there on Carrasco, a little too aggressive.
And Carrasco upset with the official because he thought that he was getting held off, but he's undersized against Quinones. You've got to beat him with your feet. You can't reach from behind and kind of ride him and push him out of the paint. You've got to at least get into a passing lane and discourage the ball from getting inside.
13 seconds left on the shot clock. Quinones, big screen there by Frink. Nearly a travel. Frink, one dribble spin off glass. Can't finish the layup, but he's gonna head to the line for two.
The Dominican Republic's done a great job in this third quarter of just taking a deep breath and calming down and finding their strengths. Frink has warmed up quite a bit. Quinones has hit some nice shots outside, and so they've controlled the game, I'll say. It seems like they've done a nice job of playing their way and not letting Chile really affect them too much.
Yeah, for sure. They've definitely controlled the tempo in the second half, taken the lead. This can make it a 3-point lead for Dominican, and Frink is off on the free throw. Carrasco will take it up court for this Chilean team. Quinones, hard defense. Needs him at half court. Crossover by Carrasco, and Quinones reaching a little bit there.
And that's an ill-advised foul for most coaches. If you get beat and then try to pick from behind, if you're gonna get beat, you're gonna gamble. You better come up with that ball or tip it, because it almost looks undisciplined.
And Dominican doesn't want to foul on the floor because they would be in the bonus this last 18 seconds. But they can hold for the last shot now. They're trying to get Quinones the ball, and he grabs it. Lester Quinones, one-on-one with Carrasco. He's gonna pull back from three, and he's off the mark. But a foul on the floor on Kevin Rubio. He can't believe the call.
Yeah, they got caught up top around their hands. I didn't see much contact with the body at all. Rubio's upset because he's thinking, hey, I'm the big guy down here right now. I'm not gonna go for that, but you see the tangle up in the arms, and it didn't help him that Haresme fell on the ground.
You're right about that. A little bit of talking going on between both of these teams, a high competitive game. That's what you expect. And Harasmai can't hit both. And that'll be the end of the third quarter. A 3-point lead for the Dominican. They really stepped it up in the second half. Cut down on the turnovers and put the ball in the net. You see the ref here giving a warning to Corella about the talking.
Friendly warning, but it's not the worst thing in the world when you start getting a little bit into it. U18 men's basketball, yeah, they're going to compete, and they're going to have a couple words here and there.
And some players, that's what gets them going. It's just a competitive spirit. 49-46, we'll be back with the start of the fourth quarter.
Now that's how to mop the floor quickly.
Niagara, acres of vineyards and the award-winning wines of the Niagara College Teaching Winery. Craft beer from the Niagara College Teaching Brewery. Fresh farm-to-table cuisine from Benchmark Restaurant. Savor Canada's most unique learning experience at the internationally renowned Canadian Food and Wine Institute at Niagara College.
Back here in the start of the fourth quarter, and you see the rebounding differential there. It's about even, and Dominican's gotten back on the offensive glass and have actually taken the lead in that aspect, 15-14.
Well, in that quarter, Dominican Republic led second chance points 12-2. So you have to think coach looked at that box score in the locker room when it was 13 points from Chile, and they completely cut that out. Frink with 13 and 20. They're saying, hey, big guy, get a break, get a quarter breather. We got 9 minutes now and 55 seconds left.
And also a big thing there was Dominican's defense holding so far through three quarters Chile's offense to 32% from the field. And Corella stepped out of bounds there. The coaching staff not happy with that. You got to get back to the basics and know where you are on the court.
Well, they're telling him Corella to reverse the ball back this way instead of dribbling down the baseline.
Corella now up top, off-ball screen coming for Rubio. Vanilla one-on-one with him.
And Dominican went back to a man-to-man. I thought their zone was really effective in Chile, getting them out of an offensive rhythm. So it'll be an interesting read to see what happens.
Dominican comes down with the board. And Quinones back the other way. Lester Quinones one-on-one with Carrasco. Harasmai coming for a screen. Quinones. Frink in the post, one-on-one, 9 seconds left on the clock. Frink one dribble, hook. And he can't get the basket, but he's gonna head to the line for two. Alonzo Frink already with the double-double tonight, looking to make it point 14 and 15.
If Dominican Republic can continue to kind of get looks from the free throw line into one-on-one with Frink on the low block, that's not a bad look for them at all.
Another missed free throw for Alonzo Frink.
Well, that's
now 2 of 5 from the line tonight. That could come back and haunt them.
Yeah, only shooting the team, Dominican Republic, is only shooting 62% from the free throw line this tournament. So those are points that you have to capitalize on.
They do make it a 2-possession game, however, 50-46 now at the start of this fourth quarter. Carrasco with Varela up top. Screen coming. Varela gonna take it himself. Foul on the floor. Early foul there for Dominican. That's what I think. I think Ignacio Varela has to get more aggressive and take it to the hole a little bit more and stop being so passive. Varela, he's going to take the shot, and he's off the mark. Quinones with the rebound. Lester Quinones only with 9 points through 3 quarters. Total opposite from yesterday as he finished with 20, 15, and 7. See if he can pick it up here. Quinones cut off there by Carrasco. Great defense, and he strips him. Chile has numbers. Iñaco. Great ball fake, but back comes Corella with the chase down block.
Well, that's a little bit of hustle that we didn't see in the first half from Dominican Republic. They're just hustling to get back on defense and make those big plays. And if you're having trouble offensively again, at least you can play tough defense, and then you can hustle and make some big plays on the other end.
See there, Lorca Lloyd's going to have to get going here if Chile wants to come back into this and ultimately come away with a Day 7 victory. Off-ball foul there. They're going to call it out of Harasmi. He feels that Iñaco was holding him. 2 early fouls. Last thing you want to do is get in the bonus in this 4th quarter. We're already halfway there. Carrasco finds Lorca Lloyd. He's got to go to work down there. Great move there, but just can't finish. And an over the back foul there on Kevin Rubio.
Well, as this one winds down, it's rebounds and free throws. You want to control the game, you want to control the pace, you got to have the ball in your hands, and it starts on the glass, getting rebounds.
It's really been a gritty, grinded out game through 3 quarters, and expect the same throughout this final quarter of Day 7, Game 2. Corella. Alonso wanted the ball, but he's going to come for the screen. So with some space up top, crossover, mid-range shot. Off the mark. Great defense there by Lorca Lloyd. And back comes Chile. Iñaco. Close to a travel there. Lloyd. Bad pass, and back comes Dominican the other way. Harasme. Smart play there to pull back. Alonzo Frank. Quinones. Mr. Quinones, one-on-one, size advantage. Double team coming, he's got to find the open man. Bonilla, baseline. Can't finish the layup. Frank can't finish on the glass. And it'll stay Dominican's ball as it goes off Varela's hands. Frank grabs it down low. Too easy. You can't allow Alonzo Frank to get a pass right in the paint off an inbound.
Yeah, I mean, that was, you're toast when he catches the ball, but it was a direct pass off an inbounds, and it's a little unacceptable if you're Chile.
Carrasco. Well, they need a bucket fast. Their offense has kind of come to a standstill. Nearly a travel. Maxwell Lorca Lloyd throws it down. Express yourself to the world, young fella.
Well, you said they needed a bucket. That's about as, yeah, you're gonna hit a 3 or you're gonna do that. Those are the best types of buckets.
And just like that, a turnover on the other end. Carrasco trying to push the pace. Sebastian Carrasco, beautiful pass. A technical. Technical foul being called on the Dominican Republic. Carlos Corella.
And coming out of the last quarter, you saw the officials. You mentioned Anthony Corella having a conversation with the officials. That was kind of seen as the warning, and so they didn't like the reaction there. And Dominican Republic, he still gets a high five from his entire coaching staff, and that maybe he's fired up and he's competing hard. But that could be very costly for the Dominican Republic.
Just like that, it's a 1-possession game again. Varela, one-on-one with Rubel now. Varela, Lloyd, tough pass there, but he gets it back. And he can't finish over the outstretched arms of Alonzo Frank, and Quinones wants to slow down the pace a little bit.
That's great defense from Frank. He's not going to try to out-jump Lorca Lloyd. He just owns his space, changes the shot, and now he's going to the top to set a screen.
Rubel. Rossmay can't put it in. Great defense there by Varela, and back comes this Chilean team. Screen coming for Lorca Lloyd. Varela up top, too much space, and he puts it in and ties the game. Ignacio Varela with a clutch bucket there.
Varela's led his team in assists. 4 of their first 5 games of this tournament. He's a great distributor, but he can score when he needs to put it down.
Vanilla, not a great shot there. Frank hits it out. We'll be back to Chile. Chile has an opportunity to take the lead. Momentum has shifted once again to the Chile squad. Ignacio Varela being guarded by Rafael Rubel. Another high screen coming for him. Crossover. Iñaco, shot fake. They're calling it on the floor. Once again, Chile not happy about that. They feel like he was in the shooting motion there. And I think they might have a point.
Yeah, David Jones did the biggest defensive sin. You leave your feet on the closeout, and so
that was close.
And you see that in the NBA all the time, right? Where guys know, hey, if you get someone to leave your feet, I'm jumping into you and I'm throwing up a shot, and usually they're actually rewarded with free throws.
Varela pulls back, mid-range shot, gets the shooter's roll there, and they take the lead. Here comes Dominican trying to answer back. The Chilean crowd getting a little loud again. They went a little quiet there for the third quarter. Quinones calling for the ball, but they get it into Frank. Immediate double team spin. Alonzo Frank puts it in. Alonzo Frank with the spin move and the finish.
A double team. Perfect opportunity to embarrass 2 defenders at the same time, and Frank is so unaffected by how many bodies are around him.
This is where the stars come out. Varela, beautiful move, and he banks it in off glass. Back and forth buckets now for both of these teams. Rafael Rubel guarded by Iñaco now. Looking to get Frank. Frank falls down. And they're calling a foul on Lorca Lloyd.
They didn't call a foul. They're asking for, because all the sweat, the Frank sweat's on the ground, so they're having them come clear off the court right after he fell.
A big thing, a big important notice there though. Next foul for Chile, and Dominicans in the bonus already with about 4 minutes left in this final quarter. And you hear the crowd behind us just going wild, doing their Chilean chant. They've been cheering so loud, I've been starting to sing their anthem. 56-54, we'll be back with the final minutes of this game.
Now that's how to mop a floor quickly.
Back here, about the final 4 minutes of this fourth quarter. It's been a tightly contested game throughout. Not a high scoring game, but it seems these teams have really found the rhythm in the last minutes of this fourth quarter.
And you get a look at Chile, who qualified for this tournament with a gold at the 2017 South American U17 tournament. It was their first ever title, where Dominican Republic qualified for this by winning the 2017 U17 Central Basket Champs. They beat Puerto Rico by 1 in the final, and Frink was the MVP of that tournament, averaging 18 and 9. He's probably close to that if he can. He's at 18 points on the tournament, 6 rebounds, but he's got 21 rebounds today, so. Total dominance on the glass, and that's led to their 8+ advantage on the rebounding game. And Rubel's gonna head to the line, try to tie this game up. And he's off on the first. That could be the story by the end of this game. They're missed free throws. And it's tough to take losses on missed free throws. And Chile lost to Puerto Rico by 3 points in the quarterfinal. They went 12 for 25 from the free throw line. I mean, that's a game where you look at the box score after and you just shake your head. You're disappointed in yourself because they're free. That's the word, they're free. And had they made 4 more, they would have won that game. Varela taking it himself, scoop layup, he banks it in. And just like that, they extend it back to 3. Rafael Rubel now, one-on-one with Varela. Quinones wants the ball, but Rubel gonna take it himself again. Stripped, Frink grabs it. Stripped again. Off the knee of David Jones, and it's gonna go back to the Chilean team, and that's their ball. Varela really heating up with 17 points, 7 assists. And I will say he's been really consistent in fourth quarters for Chile. Sure, he's their captain, and he knows he's the veteran on this team, and he knows when to step up. Chile inbounds it now to Carrasco, being guarded by Corella, who's back on the floor after taking that technical foul. Carrasco taking it himself, puts it in. Sebastian Carrasco, great drive to the rim there, and they extend the lead to 5. Dominican needs a bucket here, and quick. Quinones, this is the guy to get you the bucket. Lester Quinones, blocking foul, and they're in the bonus now. Oh, I'm sorry, one more foul. Republic, they almost just have to break this down, and that Quinones is going to have the muscle strength against almost anyone guarding him, so why not give him the ball clear out? You see, they really can't stop him one-on-one. The ball needs to be in Frink's hand or Quinones down the stretch, and right on cue. Frink finds Corella. Corella puts it up, off the mark, not a great shot there. Miyako nearly falls. And Chile wants to slow down the pace here a little bit. About 2:30 left in this game. Screen from Lorca Lloyd. Varela finds Rubio. Rubio one-on-one. Varela up top, 4 seconds left. He takes a deep 3. Oh, he puts it in. Ignacio Varela from deep. That could be a dagger right there. Well, shot clock's winding down. You have got to be within range to contest that shot. Quinones can't finish tough layup, can't finish his rebound, but he's gonna head to the line for 2. Quinones gonna head to the line for 2. And Varela, shot clock winding down. Unlimited range. I mean, his feet were almost in that half-court circle. Shades of Steph Curry. Yeah, and I mean, if Chile hangs on to take this win, that's going to be the shot right there that they're going to maybe see in their dreams for the next couple nights, and also Dominican Republic and their nightmares. Yeah, and right there, what's going to be in their nightmares? Another missed free throw. Every bucket counts now. Carrasco. Carrasco, Frink on the switch, great defense there. Varela, pull-up jumper, can't hit there. Not the worst possession because that shot goes up 23 seconds into the possession. At least Chile can say they burned almost the whole shot clock off. At this point, Dominican needs a bucket. Lester Quinones. Quinones.
Harasmi getting in the lane, and he puts it in. Clutch bucket there from Harasmi. 5-point game now. You can't foul either. Stolen by Quinones, and they're calling a block there on Varela. And that's free throws for Quinones.
Well, Chile had the numbers and made the good decision in pulling it out to try to wear the clock down, but then did the worst possible thing they could in turning it over. Hey, if you're going to make that decision to pull out of the transition offense, then you just hold on to that ball if you've picked up your dribble and just wait for one of your teammates to come help you out. You can't spaz out and turn that one over. Now you see clock stopped and Dominican Republic having the chance to put a couple more points on the board.
And now on the flip side, Dominican, this is big. They have to hit both now to make it a one-possession game. Quinones, who's known to be a clutch shooter, hits the first. And he just hits the second, gets the shooter's roll there, and makes it a one-possession game with about 1 minute and 4 seconds left in this final quarter.
Well, this has got to be a defensive chat right now for the Dominican Republic. I mean, they've got to get some high pressure, but also you can't get burned, and you certainly can't give up open looks either. So they've got to basically have a flawless defensive possession.
If you're the Dominican, do you go back to his own defense here? It worked for them all the third quarter.
Will Chile go to his own defense?
Yeah. No, Dominican.
Oh, Dominican. Oh, I mean, but then you're also allowing Chile to rotate that ball and burn some clock too. You almost do want to get high pressure and try to first force a turnover or get Chile on their heels a bit.
We'll find out what the Dominican does defensively after this break. Final minute here in this final game for both of these teams of the tournament. Both want to come out with the victory. 3 points separating them now. Chile with the advantage. Dominican needs a stop. If you're Chile, I'd put it in the hands of either Varela or Carrasco. They've shown that they're big-time shot makers.
And it's almost always started with Varela, who also just hit a 3 from essentially half court. Another reason where if you're the DR, you cannot sit in his own defense right now.
Here we go, Iñaco. Lorca Lloyd. Carrasco. Nearly a foul there. Carrella guarding Carrasco. We're in the hands of Varela. Got to play all the way down to the shot clock, does Dominican. Varela. Ignacio Varela in the lane. Carrasco wide open. Can't hit. And this is a big possession for Dominican. And it's staying Chile's ball. Not a smart play there from the Dominican.
And Carrasco, he hesitated on that 3. If you saw that hitch threw off his shot, bailed out by retaining possession of the ball.
It's only 14 seconds left on the shot clock. Not sure how to reset that. Varela. Varela, step back 3. He delivers! Ignacio Varela with the clutch bucket, maybe the clutchest bucket of his life.
Wow.
Big time players make big time shots. Wow, Ignacio Varela, the captain of this team, putting them on their back throughout this whole game.
Yeah, quiet leader, great facilitator, but you talk about stepping up in big moments. Creates space, puts all his weight, transfers it in that right foot back to the left. And that is high level, and you look how comfortable he's doing it. That's muscle memory. That's what happens when you put up hundreds of reps a day in the gym on that move. You get into the game, and it's something you just do.
And this Chilean crowd is going crazy right now. Wow, what a difference. The other day, Ignacio Varela, he loves this team. The other day when they lost on that last possession, he was in tears in the interview, and it shows how much he loves this team, and that's got to feel great right there. Redemption shot almost.
You're right, but at the same time, you look at the just under 25 seconds left in this game. And if you're Chile, the one thing you don't do is foul.
Right, they're already in the bonus, and Dominican, you need a 3 now. 2-possession game. You want, I think you want the ball in Conona's hands here, a 3-point shooter.
And also hitting free throws, but that ball advances as well. So this is a great opportunity for Dominican Republic to draw out a sideline, out of bounds play where they're getting a quick hit. They want to get a quick shot and a good look at the hoop. Well, it's out of a sideline inbounds.
Corella looking for a screen from Frink. He's going to take it to the hole for the 2, and the foul! That's exactly not what you wanted to do if you're Chile. Now Corella has a chance to make it a 1-possession game on this free throw.
And did that in 5 seconds. Corella actually didn't even use the Frink screen. He got pushed way off of it there. And so it's amazing that he was still able to find the hoop.
And this is a big free throw here for the Dominican. And he hits it. Chile is going to call a timeout here and talk it over and advance the ball. High intensity at the end of this game.
And if this building is lucky enough to get the same kind of ending tonight, it is going to be packed, jam for that gold medal game, Canada versus US. And this is exactly what you want to see. Both teams going at each other in different ways, making big plays, momentum swings. This is a 4th quarter that we wanted.
It really truly does feel like championship day here in the heart of Niagara, St. Catharines at the Meridian Center. You see here free throws, a big story for Dominican, only 56% tonight. 7 missed free throws on the day. They could be in the lead right now.
Yeah. We've talked to a couple people, you know, the percentages haven't been that high in free throws, and the leading team has, it's about 76%, which you can live with, but still isn't great. And it seems to be a trend at this age that the free throws are down, and it's funny, a lot of the experts don't really have a reason. My take is that, like, coaches don't have time in the gym, you know, 2-hour practice or 3 hours to sit there and shoot free throws. They give you 2, you know, to finish off a drill or to go get water or whatever it is. That's not enough to get a routine. And these young men who are 2 years, 3 years ago were kids, they've got to do that themselves. And
it's free throw for a reason, right?
Well, at the same time, I mean, they're so busy these days, and especially when you're playing on teams like this, but you've got to find a way to get a couple hundred up, or even if it's 50 a day, 100 a day, just to keep that muscle memory flow.
You got a foul here if you're Dominican. Here it is. Now they're going to play the free throw game here.
Well, and Iñaco took a shot to the head right
Yeah.
there. And that was a no call. I mean, both players kind of in their positions, just a tough collision. So he's going to remain in the game.
Big free throw there for Varela. Clutch free throws, extending the lead to 5, making it a 2-possession game. Dominican's going to talk it over quick. I don't know if you can afford to go for a quick 2 here. You might want to look to the 3-point line right off the bat.
Well, they've attacked so hard too, though. And again, if they can get good spacing and get Frink the ball underneath, that is a 2, or that's a good look at a 2 and possibly an and 1 with that strength. So.
And tonight, the story for Chile has been Varela. 24 points tonight, 7 assists and 5 rebounds. Once again, flirting with a triple-double. He's been the true leader of his team this whole tournament, win or lose. He loves his team. And the whole country of Chile, and a big part of that is the crowd behind us as well. They come out and constantly support them.
They're really locked in, too. It would be a great way to go out for Chile. They had a rough couple games in their pool play. They dropped a tough one to Argentina by 10, and you know Argentina is a very good team, super talented, challenged the U.S. yesterday, and that was the game there. That was really the swinger, I think, for them, because had they run away with that one, they dropped to Canada, but they're in a good position in that quarters and really challenged Puerto Rico as well in the quarters. They have to be proud because the only blowout they saw was to Canada.
Right. They've played all these teams tough, you're right. And it starts with their leader, Varela, and not only that, but their defensive scheme has been awesome. And they really shut, because they don't have the best scoring talent in the world, but it starts with their defense. We'll see here what Dominican does. Quinones up top. Quinones a deep three. Not a great shot there, but Frink comes away with it, powers in, blocked. Big time block there by Lorca Lloyd. Carrasco gonna pull up for three, plus the foul, he's gonna head to the line. Not smart there, and that could do it with 3.2 seconds left. Chile, if they hit these free throws, it's all but done.
Was it an interesting shot as well?
Yeah. I think you want to run out the clock there a little bit.
At the same time, hey, if you're going to foul, you might as well get the attempt. Frink taking out his own player.
What a clutch block there by Maxwell Lorca Lloyd. Not a great offensive performance tonight, but defensively comes through when it matters. And he's off on second, but gonna have one more shot at it to extend it to a 7-point lead.
You brought up a great point, Anthony. Chile are walking away with this one, and they didn't get a whole lot from one of their biggest stars in Lorca Lloyd on the offensive end, and so that's a huge positive. Defensively, he stepped up big, but they figured out other ways to score. And you see the celebration there. It's got to feel good for Chile, who challenged almost every single team that they saw. And just to end on a W, that's big time for them.
Right, great sportsmanship here at the end between both teams. That's great to see, especially on international play. Nothing but love between the two teams.
And you get lots of smiles from the red jerseys walking down this line.
Hey, right, like you said, it's got to feel great to end this tournament with the W. They came to this tournament to qualify for Worlds. That didn't happen, but you got to take the positives out of this, and it's really been a great learning experience for them.
And they'll leave St. Catharines with a 5th place finish.
And them saluting their fans that have been great all tournament long. They've shown their love for this Chilean team, and they've got to be proud.
Yeah, they'll reflect on each game, and they'll at least be proud that they came out and they were not intimidated. And that's going to be on any time in a scouting report with Chile. Hey, they're going to come out to play, and they're going to compete very, very hard. They definitely
put the world on notice this tournament, and the sky's the limit for them. I was talking to Varela the other day, and he said this has been a soccer country up until a couple of years ago. It's been a soccer country, and now basketball is really on the rise. Sort of like here in Canada, it's really on the rise, and you expect to see them in world tournaments moving forward.
Yeah, well, that was their first ever title last year in the Southern American U17s, and so they get the title, and then they come here, and they're in a different type of tournament where they're facing beasts like the USA and Canada. And so for a 5th place finish out of that, and again, not just the 5th place finish, but the way that they got some games, the way that they challenged, and even in their losses, the way that they kept their foot down on the gas pedal and went at teams. That's what you look at, and that's not the things that you can look at a box score and really tell, but impressive win for Chile, and they have got to be really proud of themselves after this one.
Especially with a player like Alonzo Frink ranking up a double-double tonight, 18 and 22. Still wasn't enough for the Dominican to come out, and somehow Chile held Quinones under 15 points tonight, and I think that was the big difference as well.
Well, Aurora had 18 points in the 4th quarter, and so that's going to help quite a little bit. He had 6 at the end of the 3rd and finished with 24 points.
And right now, Reese Dumani has Varela, the leader, 24 points tonight. Reese, what do you got?
Very close game throughout the entire contest. Yourself and Rubio led the way the whole afternoon. After he fouled out, you hit some huge shots. Do you feel like you had to step up your game after Rubio had fouled out?
Buen juego muy cerrado todo el tiempo. Tú y Rubio lideraron el equipo de Chile. Cuando Rubio se tuvo que retirar, ¿sientes que tuviste que incrementar tu juego?
Bueno, a lo largo del partido intentamos jugar como equipo y ya al final era un partido muy apretado y nos dimos cuenta que mediante el pick and roll estábamos sacando ventajas. Y nada, empezamos a jugar pick and roll con Max tras pick and roll y encontramos ventaja y entonces seguimos jugando así.
No, it's a teamwork. Again, it was a really close game. At the end, we figured out that the pick and roll was giving us some results, so we kept going with the pick and roll with Max, and we were able to get some big buckets with that.
To finish the tournament 3-3 for Chile, for you, your team, all the fans that watched here and back in Chile, how important is it to finish with an even record and finish strong with a win?
Terminar el torneo con un récord de 3-3. ¿Qué significa para el equipo, para ustedes, para Chile y para los aficionados que están aquí en Chile viéndolos?
Era muy importante este partido para nosotros porque existe la posibilidad de que Canadá pueda hospedar el Mundial, entonces se abriría una cuarta plaza que sería para el quinto y seríamos nosotros, entonces quisimos jugarlo con todo y nada, dar las gracias a la gente que nos apoyó durante todo el torneo y nada, muy feliz por representar a mi país.
This was a really important game for us too, because there's a chance that Canada might host the World Cup. We will open an extra spot for the World Cup to the 5th place. So we're really hoping for that. And also just thank you very much for all the fans that support us here in the stadium and back home in Chile.
Gracias.
Muchas gracias a ustedes.
Thank you.
And that'll do it for game 2 of the tournament. 69-63 for Chile over the Dominican Republic. Coming up in a couple hours, the bronze medal game between Puerto Rico and Argentina, and of course the gold medal game between US and Canada tonight. For myself and my partner Amy Audibert and the rest of the production team, we'll see you tonight for the bronze medal game.